Okay, so I thought I'd give a little bit of an introduction to what you're about to witness, I guess. So I had been debugging for a while. This is part of um, a video I planned on posting the whole thing, but I'm just not going to because most of it was debugging and most of it was me getting distracted and messing around with font files and a bunch of random stuff. But anyway, so my game is, or my game prototype, it's not a game yet. It's a magic casting game like you'd expect from Noita or you'd expect from Magicraft, or I've heard people compare it to Cogmind, which I have not played. I have not heard people compare it to. I have looked up similar games and seen Cogmind and seen that there are some similarities in, like, the main character is a automaton. You are building yourself. You are building everything that you have, except for starting items. I think, as far as I've planned, except for your starting items, I may have like a wretch type start where you don't have anything. No, that would literally be impossible. Every mechanic in the game is based off of runes, so the entire, except for maybe alchemy. I don't know whether I'm going to add alchemy or not, but your movement will eventually be 100% determined by runes. Any team functions, like any friendly fire type stuff, that's rune based. So if you forget to put your team on your gun, you will shoot yourself as soon as you fire it, because the bullet is spawning inside of you, which I should probably change, but right now it's not really a problem. And of course, explosions would be an issue if you didn't put a team on it. But yeah, right now I'm in the prototyping phase. I'm rapid prototyping a ton of stuff, just throwing stuff out there, throwing stuff at the wall. The UI is super minimal. It sucks, like intentionally sucks. Well, not intentionally sucks, but it's something I'm gonna have to completely rework once I actually get a minimum viable product. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a magic crafting game. Everything's gonna be based on magic crafting. I plan on making one of, for better or worse, like a fairly complex magic system. I think it's going to compare to Noita in different ways than Noita. It's going to compare Noita's complexity in different ways than Noita is complex. Noita is complex because it doesn't tell you everything up front. You just kind of have to figure stuff out. I plan on my game being complex because you're essentially being an electrical engineer, and you are building. It's a puzzle game. It's more or less a puzzle game. And you can build a ton of stuff that you may not be able to in other games. You can have those items in other games, but you didn't build them, you just got them. So the premise of this game is that every item you get, every piece of armor, every ability, every dash, every weapon, it's made by, like, the player, or otherwise completely customizable by the player. Like, the player can do whatever they want with it. And yeah, this was a scope down from a bigger project that was planned to be 3D. I still have the code for it. It's also in the prototyping stage, but in a much earlier prototyping stage. Like, you have the rune system. It's decent. It does its own thing. But this one's much simpler. The runes are much simpler. Anyway, so yeah, I'll get to it. Here's me after a ton of debugging and deep into depression. Yeah, but I built a turret, so it worked. Yeah. Okay. Size up doesn't work right now, I don't think. Target aim. Should have gotten simple bolt. Okay. Range trigger. Charge. 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 Simple bolt. Target aim. Projectile. Wire. 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 Nope. Wait. 30. Place the correct one. Now I have a turret. That works. And hopefully doesn't overheat. Which I think it's doing because I'm entering it several times and therefore triggering it several times, so the charges are active very often. Yeah, it overheated. Okay. The way you unoverheat stuff is you click it, you find the thing that overheated, which is always going to be the first thing after the charges, usually. That's the wrong thing. Now you have a turret. Yay. It's very persistent. But yeah, there's finally a demonstration of what you can do in my magic system after a ton of debugging. It's going to overheat now because I activated it twice. I'm going to need to have like a... Yeah. So once the player dies, the game crashes. That's intentional behavior now. Anyways, that's the game.